like Mayor Bill, he says, he said, it's sort of hard to hide me,
Yeah. He talks.
Oh, wow.
You can hear it. I heard him at a restaurant before I ever saw him. I was like, you hear it. I just don't know where, but I hear it.
Yeah.
Oh,
removed.
Really?
Yeah. Great cat. Yeah.
It's so.
I want to be here. I want to be here.
You drew the short
Oh.
Hey, it's gonna be a fast meeting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very fast. Hey, why is 2 months? Why, I don't know fully, there's some, miscommunication or something on their side. I really don't know what's going on over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's 5:59.
We gotta give the public time to get there. 30 seconds. I think I saw a bus pulling up.
Okay, 6 o'clock. We have a quorum, and unfortunately, I am the presiding officer, so I will start off with Stan. I'll start off soft with prayer. I'd like to bring us all here together and say thank you for being here. Thank the good Lord for giving us this day and this time, and our friends and our fellows, and we hope that He'll give us the common sense to lead and guide. And God bless Bulverde. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go to the American flag first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. I never look at those when I do it. Except now that I have to lead it, I'm reading them. Okay, our meeting is called to order at 6:01. First thing first, I was not here last meeting. I was enjoying myself somewhere else. We need to consider the minutes from the last meeting and approve the minutes from the last meeting. Would the commissioners who were present at the last meeting please tell me if these are correct minutes?
Everything looks good. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All abstain. Okay, the motion passes. Okay. All right. So, agenda item 2.11, consider a request by HMT Engineering and Surveying on behalf of James Chang for a variance to section 17.04.003 and 17.04.04 related to cuts and fills of the City of Bulverde Code of Ordinances on 3.8 acres located at 20285 State Highway 46, Bulverde, Texas 78163.
This item's been withdrawn by the applicant.
It has been withdrawn?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
But that's what y'all asked about earlier. I'm sorry, I may have answered a different question.
Okay. It was on. Okay. Well, then we will skip that item. We'll go on to item 2.111. All right, discuss and consider a recommendation related to an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bulverde, Texas, amending City of Bulverde Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14 zoning, Section 14.12.005 home office, by adding provisions related to home-based businesses, including allowing manufacturing use in residential zones as required by HB 2464.
All right, members of the commission. Last year, the legislature passed House Bill 2464. It basically overrides all cities' regulations regarding home-based businesses and imposes a new state framework for regulating those businesses. The purpose of this ordinance is to simply update our code of ordinances to reflect the changes. I essentially just took the state law and inserted it over the language that's in our code. And this law went into effect September 1st. It is the law now. This is really just an ordinance recognizing that and fixing our code to come into line with it.
Opening the floor for discussion. And do we have any comments from the floor?
I just have a question about it.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of manufacturing? Anything?
If you can get it inside the building and nobody can, or not even inside the building, as long as it's not visible from the street and it doesn't substantially increase noise in the neighborhood, whatever that means, you can do it.
All right, for example, my next door neighbor is a vice president of Rackspace. So when he moved in, I knew this was coming. So he moved in about a year ago. He came to me and said, all right, I would like to convert half my garage and run a home office out of my garage, but I'm going to have people coming in and out, and I said, okay, how many people are we talking about? He said, maybe 1 or 2 cars extra a day. And I mean, there's plenty of parking in his driveway and so forth. And I said, are there going to be big trucks? And he said, no. He said, essentially, these are the errand boys, FedEx guys, so forth, coming, picking up envelopes, going, here and there. He said, I don't work from home every day, but I do want to put it in a home office. All right, we only have 40 lots in our subdivision, 35 people, but I'll bet about half of those are work from home people. Mm-hmm. And of some nuance or another, and so I knew this was coming. I said, well, nobody would even know this was there if you didn't tell me. And that's what I'm looking at. The only problem I have with this is the state overrides the local control. And that's becoming more and more evident as we go further and further down. We don't have control over our own properties. The state tells us, that's good and bad. But a few years ago, they made a ruling that, homeowners associations couldn't control security gates in the subdivision. So you could put up barbed wire fences, guard towers, the whole 9 yards, make it look like, Alcatraz, and the homeowner association can't say that doesn't meet our aesthetics. But as far as the city's draft, all you're doing is really copying state law and giving us, a guideline to work with, So I would like to make a motion that we approve this. Oh, you have a question? I'm sorry. I'll open the floor for comments.
So, is there any acreage restriction? This could be like in a neighborhood that has like 4 houses per acre. Just as,
Yeah, there's no restrictions. And again, it says it can not be visible from the street. So if you can see it from your backyard and your neighbor's yard, it's legal. It doesn't matter, you can see it. It only matters if it can't be seen from our previous ordinance that be contained in the building. Only people who were actually residents in the structure could work in the business. Like you couldn't have employees come every day and stuff like that. But now all of that's gone.
Okay.
Yep.
And then this won't change any kind of zoning or anything.
Well, you'll be able to move any business use into a residential neighborhood now as long as it meets these requirements.
Okay. So it is kind of a zone.
Yeah, it will be a type of zone change. The main structure still has to be primarily a residential structure. You can't have more people in it than the building code would allow in the structure, but there's no permitting allowed. So half this stuff's not enforceable, frankly. Because we can't require permits, we have no way to know what's going on. So
There is no approval process.
none, we're not allowed to have an approval process. So unless I can stand on the street and verify a violation from the street, it's unenforceable.
How would you even ordinance the part about that sticks out to me is like does not generate on-street parking or a substantial increase in traffic through
The substantial increase in traffic is basically unenforceable. We'd have to have historical data on
Yeah.
what the traffic on your street was, which of course we don't have. And then on-street parking, we'd have to stake it out and film
Yeah.
people going in
And
and out.
then you have the private subdivisions where,
Oh, yeah, well, we can't even get in there.
Yeah, right.
So,
Oh,
and my example is what if I want to have miniature wrestling? I'm gonna have miniature wrestling in my garage next week. Y'all are all invited. We're gonna Uber everybody in because we don't want too much traffic I hope this goes on record. So we don't have too much traffic for the subdivision and, there's not a dang thing anybody can do about it, so.
Second.
Then the,
You're not a midget.
yeah, I think one of the important things that needs to be mentioned is that it prohibits the operation of short-term rentals.
yeah,
Those
the
are-
law did recognize our ability to do that, so I explicitly wrote it into this. Ordinance.
but, and I saw that there's for sober housing, that's not, but you could have like a daycare kind of a thing where people come
Probably
in.
could.
Again, as long as if you couldn't let the kids run around in your front yard and like put in playground equipment in your front yard, you shouldn't see it from the street. Put it on your backyard.
Sure thing. Okay, okay.
But there's state restrictions on that too.
There are, but we don't enforce them.
Right.
So
Mhm. Okay,
unless the state's driving through your neighborhood, they're probably not.
Yeah. Unless somebody complains,
Yeah.
Everything's complaint driven.
That's true.
All right. Okay, anybody else have a question or comment? Okay. Then I make a motion that we approve this, discuss and just okay, how do I need to make this, Danny?
Make a recommendation.
I'll make a recommendation that we approve this change in the city of Bulverde Code of Ordinances, chapter 14, zoning, section 14.12.05, home office, by adding provisions related to home-based businesses, including allowing manufacturing uses within residential zones as required by HB 2464.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Okay, all right. So we're at agenda item 2.4. Discuss and consider a recommendation related to an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bulverde, Texas, amending the City of Bulverde Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, zoning, section 14.08.002, maintenance and irrigation landscaped areas by adding provisions related to the approval of landscape materials not irrigated by mechanical underground irrigation systems. I'll let you explain that.
Yes, sir. Right now, the city of Bulverde requires all commercial businesses, new construction, to put in landscaping and irrigating with a subsurface irrigation system. The problem with that that's cropped up over the last 2 to 3 years is that the primary provider of water for our area, for our commercial area, Texas Water Company, has refused to issue new meters for separate landscape systems, and they will fine you and shut off your regular service if they find you irrigating with your regular meter. And so we've been stuck between a rock and a hard place from the city standpoint, that we have an ordinance that requires these, but you can't actually turn them on or install them for the water company won't let you. And so we've issued a few temporary COs waiting for them to, it's all based on the drought conditions that we've been under for years.
Right.
And TWC's communicated with us that they do not expect us to come out of those drought conditions in the foreseeable future. And that they have actively been encouraging people to put in xeriscaping and xeriscaping type alternatives that don't require irrigation.
No.
And so all this code amendment does is says that you have to have an irrigation system unless you put in the type of landscape that doesn't need to be irrigated, and you have you get certified by a landscape architect that it can survive without this underground mechanical, which is what it calls it in the ordinance, a subsurface irrigation system. So you still have to meet the requirements, but if you can find a way to meet it with cactuses and native grasses and things that can survive on the ambient moisture, you will be allowed to do that now. This code amendment is approved.
Which is, you know.
Good.
Very good. All right, do we have any discussion or any questions?
It's great.
Okay, we'll make sure we put that in there. If we have no discussion, no questions, do we have a motion?
I can do it.
Okay,
I'll make a recommendation to the city council related to the ordinance of the city council of Bulverde, Texas, amending the city Bulverde Code of Ordinances, chapter 14 zoning, section 14.08.002, maintenance and irrigation of landscape areas by adding provisions related to approval of landscape materials not irrigated by a mechanical underground irrigation system.
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? Nope, motion passes. Okay. All right, public comments not related to agenda items. I have one. I would like to thank our city councilman, the handsomest city councilman we have, and the handsomest city manager we have, for being here tonight. We always like to see them. Do we have any other public comments?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, the Texas Education Freedom Accounts application's open, so this is something that was approved in many states around the country, but where you can take your education money and use it where you want to spend it for your children, grandchildren. So application's open tomorrow. Any questions, you can go to the comptroller's website and find the details.
Thank you, sir. Anything else? Then I say, meeting adjourned.
You did it. You beat last month by 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm be the go-to people.
Yeah, right, yeah, give me a heads up next time, yeah.